short on time, so we should probably move off of Ys, because Falcom does have things that are not Ys as well. And one of the other big series they have is Legend of Heroes. And as promised, I just want to really briefly say, Legend of Heroes 3, The White Witch, 4, A Tear of Vermilion, and 5, A Cage Song of the Ocean. They were released here as 1, 2, and 3 on the PSP, out of order. Yeah, out of order. And the Bandai of Japan changed the gameplay, and then Bandai US ran it through Babelfish or something, because the translation is the worst I've ever seen. The original dialogue is full of nuance and poetic phrasing, and everyone has different accents, and you really get a feel for the characters. And in the English versions, you get lines like, "I didn't have eaten unusual today." So, if you've played the PSP versions and you hated them, blame Bandai, not Falcom, because Bandai Japan screwed up the gameplay, and Bandai America screwed up all of the dialogue, and kind of that's all there is. I mean, but they are really awesome games.
3, 4, and 5 is often known as the Gagar trilogy. It is considered probably, there are the people who love the action RPG series, the E series and stuff, but then the Gagar trilogy brought in the regular turn-based RPG fans, which is what it is.
Yeah, although the original PC versions were sort of a real-time thing.
Real-time, kind of semi-strategy. What you do is you set down the command on the character. They'll keep doing that command over and over and over again until you say, oh, hey, let's do something else.
And you can change their targets on the fly. You can interrupt enemy spellcasts. Enemies can interrupt your spellcasts. There is a decent amount of strategy involved. They kind of scrapped that for a poor Lunar ripoff in the PSP versions, which isn't horrible, but it's kind of boring by comparison.
And then what became out of it later.
Yeah.
It was about 5 or 6 years later when they started doing Sora no Kiseki.
Yeah.
It literally means tracks of the sky, path of the sky. The translation group, we've never actually sat down on a translated title. We've been arguing about that for a couple of years.
There's a lot of nuance in that one word, kiseki, and nothing we can come up with in English seems to capture just the right feel to it.
But
if you look up the word, it's shown as wagon tracks or locusts.
Actually, somebody actually translated it for me, and it's a very good one. Point A, take point B. Kiseki is the line between the two. And there are a lot of there's a big play on word with that use in the game storyline too. It is, I will tell you right now, it is probably like I said, it's a giant game. We have been called crazy for wanting to translate it. Xseed actually looked into translating the PSP for it and said we don't have the money to do it. It's too big. The second game, Sora no Kiseki is made up of 3 games. There is first chapter, second chapter, and third. Easy enough. If it says they're all linked together, first chapter ends with a cliffhanger, second chapter ends with a pretty good ending, third is the guide, and that actually is going to branch Sora no Kiseki to the new Legend of Heroes series, which is actually starting to look like it may be branched back to Gagar.
I don't know.
So, but anyway, it's Sora no Kiseki is a turn-based RPG, like a small-scale strategy, 4 people in a party. It's like a combination of Lunar, sort of.
It's got a lot of Xenosaga in it. It's got the boost system.
Actually no, what that's actually more like is it's more like the timing system in FF10. Except you have the ability to manipulate that. And it's not so much boost, what it is you have what's called an S-craft, or when it's used in this aspect, an S-break, and immediately, bam, interrupt anything that's on screen. It's actually pretty fast-paced for it. Do you want to go ahead and close that out for it?
Well, we are kind of, we're really short on time. We have like 10 minutes left of the panel.
Okay.
So, I do want to actually do one more thing since we're here. Falcom has their Spy game, which is sort of a lesser-known action RPG, kind of the spiritual predecessor to Gurumin, which is a really great, platforming RPG.
Which came out here for the PSP.
Yeah, and it's really great. I highly recommend it.
If you get the chance, actually, that's the one that we have up here is the English version.
Yeah.
This is the English release of it. If you have a PS3, it's on the PS Network, on PSN for $9.
Yeah.
It is the best purchase you can make because this is the funniest thing you will ever play.
It is great. Spy was also a really awesome game, very cute, almost like the 2D Gurumin, It had a brilliant experience system where you would get food throughout the game. Your food would heal you, but it would also give you experience. But if you found 10 of any type of food, you could combine them into one of a much, much better type of food that would give you more experience than all 10 of those other ones combined. So it sort of encouraged you to wait as long as possible to level up, which was really cool. You could challenge like a dungeon many levels ahead of you and get this really high level food and then combine it, and it was just a really, really great way to do it. And Falcom has announced a sequel to Zwei coming out at the end of next month, Zwei 2. We have the teaser trailer here, and I actually would like to play that so that you guys have a chance to check it out. Oh, okay. It looks awesome.
Probably not going to work, just as a heads up.
Yeah, the subtitles will not work, I don't think, but...
That is also the original logo music.
2008年日本ファルコムが送る爽快アクション RPG 最新作トレジャーハンターラグナ・バレンタイン城を追われた吸血鬼の姫アルエンド・ムーンブリンや浮遊大陸イルバードを舞台にトレジャーハンターと吸血鬼の姫君が繰り広げる夢とロマンあふれる冒険ファンタジーファルコム次世代最新アクション RPG スパイ2 2008年9月25日発売さあ限りなき冒険のフロンティアへ
これがそなたの運命ださあ受け入れるがよい
The original Zwei was kind of cool because the soundtrack wasn't the rock stuff that most Falcom games sort of used to comprise of. It's actually a lot closer to Yasunori Mitsuda music. About the time it came out, a lot of people compared it to being like Chrono Cross. So if you like that sort of stuff, it's worth checking out too.